Good evening. Welcome to your Ass Hurts News Network. Coming to you live from the tip top of Cock Tower Square with your host, Sergeant Friday. How you doing, Sarge?
Wow, me oh my ass hurts.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I'm doing awesome. Really, yeah, haven't had a bad day in a long time. Kind of nice.
Fuck yeah.
Fuck. Live and let live. I can't do that, but live and smile. I can do that. Right?
Yeah.
Elon broke his own fucking website. They were supposed to have a live interview between him and Trump, and yeah, you can't really connect to it. So we're gonna have to wait for it to finish, and then move on from there. And the European Union warned Elon about what about being responsible with tonight's interview and where he broadcasts it. In other words, if you guys don't talk about the things we want to talk about, if you don't accept the truths that we are calling the truth, then we're going to come after you. It's basically what they're saying to Elon from the EU. So I told the leader of the EU that cuckolds like him should be fucking thrown in prison for treason. We'll see how that goes.
So that's what so the EU was coming at him for to warn him to be careful about how he handled the interview with Trump.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, because here's Elon's response to him for anybody that hasn't seen it yet. Maybe you're not a part of X, but I do often say nice things about Elon Musk. There's no question about that, but I somehow get the feeling he may have been made a fucking aware of my existence and actually told the leader of the EU Union to take a step back and literally fuck your own face. So I'm on board with Elon, and I'm on board with attacking those fucking creepy traitorous cuckolds exactly like that. Just hammer them, silly fucks. Don't give them fucking quarter, okay? That's literally, I could have written that for him.
But, I find that very interesting, right? What dog does the EU have in that fucking race?
Well, its dog in the race is that there's 100 million people on their continent that have X.
Okay. That 100 million people on their continent shouldn't give a fuck about this.
But it's what's broadcast on that continent that they're arguing about.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
So they're it's under the guise is censor yourself in the United States because that shit gets broadcast over here. And as far as I remember, and I could be wrong, but I think we swatted that ass twice. Okay, you fucking jerk offs over there in Europe. And I don't think you want to swat in that ass again. Okay, enough is enough. Shut the fuck up with telling us what to say over here. They even made a direct post against Americans that talk bad about them. That their laws can reach across the pond. And I invite you, bring your shit across the pond, you fucking traitorous piece of shit, child fucking molesting lovers. Bring it. All of you EU fucking reps, all of you leaders of Europe and Australia and Canada, bring that come knock on my door and tell me I can't say you're a bunch of criminal cocksuckers. Cletus?
Well, I still like the idea of, you figuring out a way to drive your state back over there to join that part of the world.
I know it's the magic mystery fucking state that just floats around and lands in Europe. But they literally did put out a video saying that their laws can reach across this pond, that our speech that has impact over there. Well, what the fuck? I don't care what my speech has over there. I'm not the ones that fucking conquered London by bringing people in from fucking the Muslim world, just like they're doing to us with the fucking South American world and all over the world, driving them across our border. A lot of people don't know, but the way the Muslims have conquered territory is through immigration. I don't know if you're aware of that, but historically, we're talking going back centuries. That's always been their primary move. I don't know if you know that.
Wasn't aware of that, no.
Yeah, the sword and the gun, obviously, like a lot of those other fucking powers, they didn't have the guns when we had them.
Mm-hmm.
But back even before then, it was through immigration. Yeah, they migration of people into areas that they then dominate the area and take it over. I mean, that's why they call is it Minnesota, Little Somalia? The second Somalia in the world, because there's more Somalian immigrants there, I think, than there are people born there.
In Minnesota?
Yeah.
I bet that's a fucking climate change and a half.
fucking freezing up there, bro. I don't know.
God almighty.
Smog is there,
I
but
could not fucking imagine that.
they generations of being too hot. They're trying to make up for it all at once, I think.
Fuck. Like no. I could
I don't know.
I don't even want to fucking go to Minnesota. And I'm not all that far from there. I mean, the fuck. God. Anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy, bro. It really is. And the globe is a mess. The Western world is nothing like you and I. It's got nothing to do with what it was. It just doesn't. And it isn't even communist in that it's gone beyond that. It's a whole new realm of fucking. It's a fascist, Marxist, communist, socialist fucking shish kebab. Those Democrats are. They're all filthy traitors. They literally are. They all ought to go move to Europe and live under the rule of them people. Right? Can't be fired from your job. Yeah, well, if you get hired as a barista, you may be there the rest of your life, you fucking twit. Because ain't no promise to promote you either. Okay. Just that they can't fire you, you stupid fuck. Right? Fucking,
I've been watching a lot of shows. This guy, what the fuck is his name? Drew Binsky. He travels the fucking world, right? And he's been to every country, some of them numerous times. But he seems to go to these remote fucking places within countries. He doesn't go to the touristy destinations and shit. He gets in fucking trucks and rides 8 hours into fucking nowhere and shit, right? And I was watching last night. He went to Mexico and he went to I forget the name of the state, but there are people there. There's about 1,000 people between 4 areas that still practice the Mayan traditions and still speak a language that was native to the Mayans. And the thing that was really interesting to me is every time I see this guy travel to these places, everybody I see him interact with is happy as shit. And the all of them from the age of 5 to like 105. There were some last night that were in their hundreds, 110. And all looked healthy as shit. All of them happy as shit. And they're just sitting there like, pushing fucking corn off the ears of corn cobs and shit and just happy as hell. And I've thought a lot about that. And I'm like, when you look at that and then you look at the state of affairs we're all in, the only conclusion you can really draw is that civilization, advancements in civilization are the fucking death of us. Because it's just, if you see somebody 100 plus years old, you don't really see them functional or happy, typically. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But these fucking people, everywhere he goes, he's dealing with people that are over 100 years old. Every one of them are healthy, and they're all happy as fuck. And I'm like, yeah, that's that people should watch more of that shit and reflect on their own lives. And he said the same thing. He was like, it's funny when I come to these places, I see life in its most simplistic form, and I learn a lot, and I remember a lot, of how to apply this in my life. And I'm like, yeah, that's it's fucking amazing how we all stress the fuck out over the dumbest shit. And these people, the worst thing they got to fucking worry about is it going to rain today? Am I going to be able to go pick the fucking corn and push it off the ears so I can boil that shit tonight?
No, here's the thing is factually, everything that we've done as a group has been phenomenal advances in ways that could benefit mankind in incalculable fucking areas. And instead, we've let them co-opt it, turn it into entertainment and conspiracy theories. And meanwhile, they're running away with the fucking safe. They're running away with Fort Knox, and we're in here stuck arguing about whether a fucking windmill is going to solve our problem or not. Right? Whether you're black or you're not black, it's insanity what we've allowed ourselves to get trapped into. We're not part of anything that matters. We're part of the bullshit that they throw. I don't know. It's like throwing breadcrumbs and everybody's starving. They all run for the breadcrumbs. Right?
Yeah.
It's just kind of sad. I don't know if people have ever given this any thought, and I'm sure some of you have. Maybe you even have, Cletus. But just be aware, folks, that there is literally nothing you do that isn't tracked, listened to, or available to anybody that's in a position to come get it. Just think about that, Cletus. You drive down the street, all your neighbors' cameras can spot you.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
You go into a store, you go to a gas station, you do anything. Even in your own home, you can't even talk on social media without them knowing you're there. Use your phone. Leave your house. If you leave your house without a phone, they'll catch you on someone's camera if need be. Your vehicles are tracked. Your vehicles report, get data, all the information that they want personally on you. There's no way to hide anymore in the modern society. And they've used what should be akin to the most convenience man has ever experienced. Okay, that's what's possible at this point in history. And instead of it being used for that, it's being used to fucking subjugate. And the wrong people got their hands on the fucking buttons. That's the biggest problem of all. And what do? We sit around like I told you earlier. A lot of people are just ignorant to the fact that if worldwide people stopped buying Coca-Cola for 2 days, that company would no longer exist nor be able to exist. It would be incapable of existence with just 2 days of consumers not buying their product. And that's what Trump needs, or anybody that you want to be president. They need a plurality of people to have goals and desires and changes that are going to affect us all in a good, positive way. Your leaders would if you believe in Trump, you believe in whoever it is, the fucking Kamala, the whatever the fuck that brought is. That's what you're supposed to be doing. Those leaders are supposed to be following your desires. And yet, what do we sit on here doing, Cletus, besides fucking drama?
Not much.
Right? All of that tracking of you, your movements, your talking, your fucking typing, every fucking thing you do is monitored. You're all okay with that? It's incredible. And it all comes down to user agreements. It's right to what I started out in the very beginning saying fucking 2 years ago around true crime people. We don't do a fucking thing to help ourselves, and then we sit around and complain. Oh, yeah, they took a shot at Trump. Well, imagine that, folks. Yeah. I mean, we're all sitting here expecting it anyway. You want to know the truth? If people tell the truth, they're going to all say, well, I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. Right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So whose fault is that? Ours. It's our fault. I've been watching some of those videos that they did, the body cam videos.
Yeah.
And it's worse than worse. These people, yeah. Did they make they ran around basically like they're chicken with a head cut off. They literally did do that, Cletus. These cops were completely ill-prepared to do the task that they were assigned.
Yeah.
Right? No, it would be like, I don't even know what to compare that to, bro. I mean, you're going out, you're walking into the back of the plane, and you're finding the youngest fucking person on the plane and tell them go fly. It's that fucking bad.
Yeah, I know the body cam videos of them trying to get up on that roof and get that figured out were they were quite telling. Because I watched it and listened to all the audio with it and everything like that, and it's like, you guys were unprepared, and you make no bones about making it clear that you were unprepared, and based on some of the things that were stated in those body cam videos, if they're true, you had good reason to be unprepared for that scenario. Yeah. But again, we don't know the details because the fucking government will not provide.
These are pretty complete, these body cam videos. And look at everybody that was on site there should have been fired from the Secret Service immediately. There shouldn't even have been a question. And then in a real system of justice, everybody would have been put under the microscope. And any laxes in their ability to carry out their fucking command they'd be held to account for it. And that's just not going to happen. Yeah. People are still arguing about how many shooters there were. I'm besides myself. It's just off the fucking wall, right?
Oh Lord!
I don't know, man.
Instead of how many shooters there were, a more valid topic would be, why weren't there more Secret Service agents? At least that could lead into a productive conversation about the situation.
you know, it goes beyond that. The question is, why were there half a dozen buildings all that faced that fucking stage, right?
No, I'm with you, but if
Not protected at all. Not anybody even like the area where he got access. He literally did what they said in the beginning. And this is a lesson for people out there. Bear with me for a minute, Cletus. They told us he climbed up the air conditioning and utilities to get up on the roof, and he did. He fucking did. He didn't need a ladder, and he didn't get up where that cop tried to climb up either. I don't know. Are you aware of this? He got up 4 buildings away.
Yeah.
And then crossed 4 motherfucking buildings to get to where he had to get to shoot Trump. On the roof. Okay? Can someone fucking explain how that happens? So everything, here's the lesson I want to tell people. We were told that right in the beginning. Okay? Yeah, don't rooster my fucking room or I'm gonna kick you out of here. If all you're gonna do is sit in there and rooster, you need to get the fuck out. Because I will ban your fucking asses. I don't find it amusing at all. I'm not in here talking about fucking Butthole Betty or fucking drama. Cut it the fuck out.
You were saying?
Well, I got to get rid of fucking start banning these fucking people. Cut it the fuck out, people. You think it's fucking funny? I'll give you fucking funny when I take my foot and stick it right up your ass. Which would start with me kicking you in the fucking throat. Cletus?
But are they blowing bubbles?
Unfucking believable.
Oh, Sergeant is a version to chickens.
Fucking rooster, fucking nonsense. How fucking slaughter he is. Listen, so anyway, imagine. I mean, the failures go beyond just the Secret Service is the point I'm trying to make.
Yeah.
And it's mind-numbing to me that many so-called professionals, right, could have that many fucking errors. It just can't be possible, bro.
I don't know. Maybe I'm fucking naive, and I'm sure this is another situation where undoubtedly I will be proven wrong. But I do think that there is an argument to be made for that's just the state of the fucking society we live in, where there are that many fucking errors every fucking day at all levels of whatever fucking profession.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think I don't. I mean, you can't go get anything that's not fucked up in some way. Do you know how many fucking I made an issue of this with a school online one time because they were an English university. I forget what the fuck we were looking at this for, but I was looking and reading their all their shit on their website, and I found like 5 fucking misspellings on one fucking page, and I emailed them and told them. And I'm like, how the fuck are you going to be in a school specializing in English and you can't even fucking spell?
And what they say?
Oh, we're going to take care of that right now. Well, what the fuck? Why are you taking care of it right now? The question is, why the fuck did it happen in the first place?
Unbelievable, man. Yeah, but let me also say, though, that the people that are supposed to know were the ESU unit. They were a sniper unit for the police department, okay? And look, folks, I don't have a problem with a guy driving a car writing tickets, not realizing that you always control the high ground. I understand that the guy driving the fucking car may not have that knowledge. I don't have a problem with that, right? But there's no way the sniper fucking teams, regardless if they're Secret Service or if they're from fucking BlackRock, a private security firm, there's no way they're not trained in that knowledge. There's no way all of them people could have fucking not known and not acted to put a person on those roofs. Even somebody with a handgun. They didn't even have to be a sniper. Fuck, matter of fact, you could have put someone
Hold
on
on,
that.
I can't hear anything.
You could have put them on that rooftop eating donuts, and that would have been enough. Right, Cletus?
Yeah.
Twiz, what the hell are you doing, Twiz?
You can't hear.
He said
can't hear.
He said he couldn't hear anything. He said,
Tell him to get a miracle here. I mean, we're not here to help the disabled. What the fuck?
I can hear him and all of his fucking clicking.
Yeah. He signed out, but he didn't have to. I gave him the link. He's welcome to come in.
He'll come back. I'm sure.
And our help desk. Is there any health news that is breaking that needs to be broadcast, or what's going on there, help desk?
Carbs are amazing.
Do what?
She said carbs are amazing.
Oh,
Referring to carburetors. She's referring to carbohydrates.
no. She's the help desk. She's not the mechanical desk.
Yeah.
I caught that. Yeah. But carbs are amazing, I guess, and yeah, I eat them in spurts sometimes, but usually I stick with just the meats and stuff. You know what else is kind of true? I don't know if you guys have paid any attention to Trump, but he keeps bringing up the cost of bacon. For some reason, I got this feeling that he's a bacon lover. He supports pork farms without even saying it. It's the unknown things about Trump that people need to learn.
Maybe it's some kind of secret dog whistle. Isn't that what they accused him of in 2020? He's dog whistling to his supporters or whatever. It'll eventually go there. You know it will.
Yeah. So now is Fathead in here?
I don't know.
He's coming.
He's coming in.
Oh, what, he sent his cocks first?
I'm sure.
You always want to go cock first.
When you started bitching about the roosters, and I knew he'd been live for a while, I'm like, yeah, he's fucking
ridiculous fucking twit.
Did you hear him get mad at him?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I heard Truth out here laughing, so I figured, yeah.
Unbelievable. So let me think. Yeah, so in the world of worlds, otherwise everything is all fucking going off. Apparently they're AI and pictures for Kamala to give this image, and she's now copying Trump's fucking plan for the country. It's quite interesting what's happening.
What did you say about suddenly
AI? A government, listen, a government that hired 32,000 IRS agents, okay, and started making, and we're going after everybody that received tips. They literally were going after them people. Now she wants to have a system where those people that collect tips don't get taxed. But the whole administration, the whole fucking plan that they had was to go after people that were getting tips and not reporting their income and therefore owing the government money. Is she gonna
include people that get bonuses under $25,000?
Listen, I don't know what the fuck she's gonna do, but apparently
she does.
She's gonna be. Look at. Before the vote, she's going to be out there with building her own wall on the border. Watch. I want a wall too, so I'm building my own.
At that border, she's so familiar with.
You know what it'll be? It'll be a wall around voting machines, so we all can't pick our leader.
Yeah. It'll be a wall, and all the voting machines will be on the other side of it.
And then she tried to recover from attacking Palestinian protesters in a rally by having a scripted attack where she had notes to refer to talk to the people that were fucking protesting. The woman's at the podium reading notes to address protesters that just spontaneously showed up.
That's funny.
Huh. And yet there's so many millions of Americans that all belong in Europe for their points of view. They literally need to get the fuck out of here. You were the people that would have fought for the British, you Democrats, okay?
Wow.
And there were plenty of them in America that would have fought for the other side and did. Or they stayed quiet, but were rooting the king wins. That's truth.
I'm still I don't know. I'm still sitting here stewing on what you opened with about the EU fucking telling Elon to be careful, or basically conform your fucking interview with Trump to something that we would approve of, or don't do it.
Breaking news.
All right.
Somehow Twizzle sticks are real, and they're here in the room.
Yo.
What's up, Twizzle?
Not much. What are you guys doing?
Well, we were, our typical reminding the 5.62 billion morons out there that we're here and we're not going to stop beating them over the head with their own ignorance.
Hell yeah.
What's new? What's new in the Idaho 4 case, Twist? Anything?
Well, nothing really with the case itself, but you know how I like the cell phone towers, right?
Yeah, you got a fetish for them. I get it.
Yeah, I got a huge fetish. But you know the Garrett Discovery?
Yeah, but review it quickly.
Well, I'm not actually going to talk about the Garrett Discovery, but apparently he's like a cell phone network expert as well.
Okay.
And he recently did an interview, and he said he was first hired to work for the defense, and he came and looked at what the prosecution had used to arrest Brian, and he just laughed because of how bad it was.
Yeah, like I've been doing the whole time. I don't know who that guy is, but hey, it shows that I am not the smartest fucking guy on the internet.
Yeah.
I'm up there though.
It's pretty funny though.
Cletus? Okay.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
I wonder how true that is, though, right? I mean, because was the Garrett Discovery something that was ever published?
Yeah, you can access it.
Okay.
The Garrett Discovery has nothing to do with the server, so it's something completely different.
What to do with the what? Cell data?
Yeah, it has nothing to do with the cell data.
What's it got to do with?
So that's like social media stuff. But apparently he was hired originally, or he wasn't hired, but he was working with the defense or seeing if he wanted to work with the defense for the cell tower. Then they did the Garrett Discovery just for like fun, basically, to see what kind of social media stuff they could pull up. And then they decided not to work with the defense. But the cell phone stuff is just funny because he just said basically that what the prosecution used to arrest him was just they're never going to prove it or back it up or anything. And then we know, we know that the only thing that they had when they wrote the PCA was his call detail records, which simply shows the number you either called or texted and the cell phone tower that you connected to. So what they did was looked at the map of what those cell phone towers cover, and they said, well, we know he's at 1122 King Road. So they drew a map from 1122 King Road connecting to the towers that he connected to back to Pullman.
But they have no evidence that he was actually in those areas.
Exactly.
Here's the other problem with that whole case is that the DNA only came after the arrest warrant and after that sloppy bullshit kind of pieced together I'm an idiot police work.
Exactly. Even if he did do it, it ain't making to court because that's fruit of the poisonous tree.
Right. She's going to ask to suppress that evidence because it wasn't used in the arrest warrant, nor was it used in any warrant of search. It was developed as a result of those warrants. And if those warrants are issued based on a case that can't be verified, then the warrants themselves are no good in their face. You can't accuse me of robbing a 7-Eleven when I robbed a fucking Starbucks.
Right.
Right?
Yeah, it's wild.
And then connect me to the crime of the 7-Eleven through the Starbucks. You realize, wrong one. But we got this evidence that we collected by accusing you of the wrong thing. Don't work like that.
God bless America.
Elevated truth.
Well, hello. How are you, sir?
Well, I was ready to go fucking stomp your dick down with all them fucking roosters that came in here.
Yeah. Hey, you look like you got upset with that cock smack. I mean, that rooster smack. You know, it's funny. I told everybody before I sent them over here, I said, y'all are going to watch a grown man cry. Go do it. And they did.
But there were clearly no tears from a grown man in this channel. Just action. No. We're an action. We're a channel of action.
Well, I wanted them to come hit the like button and then realize they wouldn't like you, and it worked.
That's perfectly fine. There's one of them that I asked. I kept telling people to stop, and the guy wouldn't stop, so I fucking booed him. I don't know who it is.
Well, yeah, they know better. If you ask them to stop, they only need to keep doing it for a few more minutes.
Yeah, I got.
You've trained them well.
My index finger works well on that button. I got the button over here, the block button.
Well, I'm glad you didn't hit too many of them because they really do like to support you, Ish.
Oh, what a crazy world! So so we got the Garrett Discovery, but has anybody? There's been no other like motions or anything like that coming out there, Twizzle?
They put in the 16th motion to compel. There's not really much anything in it that we can gather. But other than that, the only other thing is there's a creator going around saying that she found something out of the Garrett discovery, even though it's been out for well over a year. Steve Gonsalves sent it out to a bunch of creators, but she's basically going to try and say that Brian was the DoorDash driver.
Wasn't that Jay Hombre doing that too?
No, it's Forensic Frenzy, but there's a Twilio number on that, which is DoorDash uses it, but it's just the DoorDash driver is the one who told the cops that they delivered an order to that house that night.
No, I don't think the DoorDash driver approached the cops. I think what happened was the guy that dropped him off approached the cops, and the DoorDash driver was discovered through her phone as ordering DoorDash, which arrived approximately around 4 a.m. So I think people have got that twisted. They think it was the DoorDash that approached the police. And my understanding is no. It was the driver that dropped the two girls off and didn't hang around for them to get.
I think they both did. But either way, in the PCA, I think it says that the DoorDash driver told the police about the order. But if that was Brian, then he would have, been telling on himself. And then why wasn't he arrested for 7 weeks?
Well, it's not even that. I mean, the DoorDash driver, I think, was in that 2011 to 13 Elantra. I honestly think.
Oh, for sure it was.
Without a question, there's two Elantras in this story, and they're trying to hide the fact that there's two of them. And that's why they kept sticking with suspect vehicle one. But to me, her motion of a car going the wrong way at the wrong time on the wrong street is the photo that they're relying on to identify 14 to 16. And the 11 to 13 was relied on by video from the house itself, the crime scene, that neighborhood.
I 100% agree.
Two different locations, two different cars, same model, but two different manufacturing dates.
Yeah,
they're separated by a break in the production style. So
two distinctly different body styles.
Well, yeah,
you can easily tell them apart.
From the ass end or from the front end, you should be able to tell those cars apart easily.
Even from the side.
They identified it. I suggest to you the car going the wrong way at the wrong time on the wrong road. Koberger's going to admit it's him.
I don't even know if that's true because I think unless they used the WSU footage, but I don't think they did.
But he can admit it's him. It's going the wrong way at the wrong time on the wrong road.
Yeah, I mean he can.
Driving, he could say, "Yeah, I don't know what time, but I passed that way." It wouldn't hurt him at all. In other words, he can admit to it, and all they're left with now is the car in front of the house.
Yeah, but they'd still need to tie it in with the alibi somehow.
What the alibi is the cops' testimony themselves.
Yeah, but it's going to show him going to the park.
Well, no, it can't show him going to the house. It can only show him in places that have nothing to do with the house.
Right, but he said that he went to the park, so the footage would have to show him going that way. Because that's what they're going to say.
I don't know if he even has to prove he went to the park because he drove.
I mean, he really doesn't. And if things work the way they're supposed to, like you have to prove him guilty, he doesn't have to prove his innocence, right? But I don't think that's what they're going to do in this case because of the media and how many people just think that he's 100% guilty right now.
Well, if he did this 12 similar times and none of them related to stalking or surveilling the property, right? And on the 13th trip, the night of the murder, he did the similar things that he had done 12 other times. That makes him innocent. There was no crime on the last 12 drives. And he went in similar areas at similar times. Okay. And that phone being untrackable that particular night is consistent with the night of one of those 12 previous trips. So it's not the first time that's happened. So in other words, he's not stalking, he's not planning, he's not really by that house. He's on that tower, right? 13 fucking times. Why is the 13th one the one that matters for murder? You can't place him there, in other words. You just can't. And all your story, your TTA is his alibi.
Yeah, for sure. They actually can trace that phone. They just didn't have the data that they needed to when the PCA was written.
Correct.
Or the grand jury.
Later, the next year, right in May or something, or somewhere like that, they asked for the other part of the cell phone data.
Yeah, Mowry had it in time for the grand jury. He just didn't know how to use it.
Well, and then to decide Ray saying based on what they gave him, he can't recreate what that guy went to the grand jury with.
Essentially, yeah.
Yeah. So, And here's what I was saying earlier. I forget who, I think I was talking to, might have been Dave.
Sam, the park is not locked at 7 p.m. I have it recorded me driving down to that park twice at about 11 p.m. and the gate is wide open.
What did I wanted to say, man? I said I was talking to say something earlier. I was talking to Dave about it. Here's where you guys out here that go to these different streamers and play with these conspiracy theories. Here's the level of your fucked upness, okay? And that fucked upness obviously isn't a real fucking word, but you're so all fucked up that it should mean something to you just because you're fucked up. And the deal is, right? We the people are the government. You're supposed to be paying attention exclusively to the fucking state and everything the state does on your behalf. And you're supposed to be questioning everything the state does because everything they do is on your behalf. And you all want to talk about whether Brian did it or not, whether the grub truck or some fucking reflection video has got any pertinent value. You want to start talking about DNA, yet you don't want to talk about how the cops got to the DNA. Where the DNA came from, where it moved through, who did it, what was the basis of it, how it was collected, what kind of DNA is it? Did the police write a PCA that was accurate enough to justify probable cause? I don't see it. But that's what true crime is supposed to focus on. Because in some cases, you're going to find everything the police did was correct. Everything the police allege is verifiable through what they've shown. And every piece of evidence makes sense. There are many cases like that, folks, and that's how they're all supposed to fucking be. But your job in true crime isn't to solve the fucking crime. Your job as a citizen of the United States is to pay attention to the acts of your representatives that work on your behalf as we the people. You're not supposed to sit around saying Koberger did it or not. It's fucking ridiculous. And then you're going to make up stories to confirm one way or the other he did it. Holy fuck. But you see how crazy that is?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of crazy stuff going on.
Same thing in the Trump shooting. They got to have 3 shooters, 4 shooters, 2. Unbelievable, man. When beyond any question, we all saw 8 shots come from one area and 1 dead body. And somehow now we got to buy into these guys that I'm 38 years security specialist, sniper. Well, fuck, for 38 years, you must have got lucky, you stupid motherfucker. There was nobody on the water tower that you keep telling us there was. Why don't you come back and explain to us how you came to that conclusion, you fucking idiot? 38 years experience, and he's got everybody thinking there was a shooter on the water tower.
Really?
Yeah, there's more than one guy like that out there. I was with the fucking...
How do they explain the trajectory being completely wrong?
Listen, I'm just
if the water... I know.
Crime as well.
I'm just saying, if the shot came from the water tower, would have gone directly through the side of his head.
Absolutely.
Not his earlobe.
Profile to the water tower. He was in pure profile to it by the way he turned his head.
Exactly.
He would have had a better chance surviving that shot if he kept his face forward towards the crowd. Right?
Yep.
Or turned the other way. But then he'd be exposing the back of his head. So if the water tower, you could not have made that shot. Not only that, they accounted for all 8 bullets. 3 went by Trump's head, 2 went into a victim, another 1 went into a victim, and 1 went into a guy and killed him, and 1 hit the hydraulic hose. That's 8 shots. 8 shots. And they're all downrange from that roof. None of the people that got hit with a bullet had been hit by a bullet from any other direction other than from that fucking roof. And you got experts like crazy, ex-SEALs they claim to be, ex-fucking BlackRock workers, fucking... Oh, no wonder you're ex. Maybe your fucking observational skills are lacking because that's just was. And there's so many people that were doing that out there for click. Look at me.
That's what it all is, even in Idaho.
Yep, everything is like that. That Swamp Rose and all these other fucking lunatics out here coming up with all these theories. Whether he did it or didn't do it.
The he did it story sells a lot more views.
Yeah, because people are just too they're grifters. These people are grifters. They're con people. And the people that are paying attention to them are just, I mean, if you ever want to know how all these horrible things in world history have ever happened, you guys are a part of it right now. You actually are those people that stood by while millions were slaughtered. I mean, you want to be critical of the German population under what Hitler did. You ain't seen nothing yet. And we just sit around with our fucking hands up our ass, fucking lollygagging around, instead of going after stuff. It's kind of sad.
Yep.
What happened to our buddy Fathead? He vanished. Fathead dropped.
Did he start his channel again?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, Cletus?
I mean, y'all don't stop talking long enough for him to talk.
Well, that might be true tonight. Yeah, for sure. That can happen. What the
No,
hell?
I think we're just, one action away from seeing just how fucked we've allowed ourselves to become.
Yeah,
From it becoming the inescapable reality that already exists. We just refuse to fucking look at it. That's why I'm just sitting here like what you were talking about with the EU saying to Elon, and it's like we're literally, I mean, if that were anybody else, that would just be another fucking problem that we would have. Fortunately, he's like, yeah, go fuck yourselves. But I'm just saying, it's literally that close, right? Because if he'd have went along with it, nobody would do anything about it.
No, what are we going to do, right? That's what everybody says. Well, what can we do? Well, what
Right.
you all can do is just boycott anything that comes out of Europe, European Union. Start looking for products and businesses and services and just start fucking stop buying them. We have so much power, it's not even funny. And yet, there isn't a single person. And it kind of disturbs me that Trump and Elon aren't part of the fucking. He's got 194 fucking million followers. Right? With just a few words, this guy could get people down going down a direction. I mean, a non-violent direction that maybe he could lead the charge and say, I'm getting rid of all these user agreements. It allows too many violations of your personal freedoms. Imagine if he started out doing that.
Yeah.
There'd be a bandwagon effect. He's in a position, but so are we. If somebody with a voice big enough, or enough of us keep pushing for that, and it catches on, and more streamers and more tubers and posters wrap their fucking head around that and started demanding these user agreements be fucking redone, eliminated, or erased. Give us back our privacy. We could get somewhere with it, but it's tragic.
Maybe you should use this as an opportunity to write another message to the Trump campaign and suggest he add that to the topics he runs on.
No. Could be, yeah. No person wants the truth. Attention hounds. No person who wants the truth. So I would like to know ultimately how those young people were murdered and who did it. I definitely would be interested in that knowledge. However, I don't think the people in charge of that particular case were ever going to be, or ever were, or ever will be capable of answering that question. You're going to have to believe their lies and their stories, or that's all you're ever going to get. So you're going to have to accept that Kohlberger did it based on what the state's telling you, or you're going to walk around forever, feeling like you don't know. I don't know, man. I can't get into that camp, but that's just kind of the way things are going.
It's actually really scary how much people are like cheering on, even executing him right now.
Really?
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that would just take him out back today.
Huh.
Yeah. No, I'm not surprised. I can't argue for guilt or innocence on him. You just can't. I don't see how you can make an argument one way or the other. If you write a generic letter to others, can easily copy and paste might be a start. She learned that from.
It's just crazy because like we have seen no evidence. We've been told a story. There's nothing that we have seen to back up anything that the PCA says, and people read the PCA and are like, kill him.
Well, would it be a fair statement to say that Steve Gonsalves believes he did it?
Right now, yes.
Okay. So I see a similarity here that, I can't help but say has got to be a pattern and something that we should be cautious about. So I think a lot of people can rally behind Steve Gonsalves, right? And very few know him. Very few people that would rally behind him know anything about him other than what they see, right? And they're going to rally behind him. They see his emotion, his anger, and consider what he's going through, what he's gone through, what's happened, and they get behind whatever he wants. The same thing happened with the Sebastian Rogers case. People saw the father saw his emotion and heard his anger and who it was directed at, and they got behind it as well. And at the end of the day, Brian, I think a lot of people are fairly well convinced the process is fucked on this, and he may or may not have done it, but they cannot legally convict him or should not legally convict him based on what they have. And the same goes in the Sebastian Rogers case. I think there's a lot of people that look at it and say it's completely possible this boy walked out of the house. But there is a huge camp in both cases that would absolutely burn the accused at the stake before it's even solved.
Yeah.
See, and in this case, the judge at this point with the Koberger case, the judge's main principal job is to protect you from government overreach, period, end of story. And that's never talked about, and judges you'll often see aren't doing that. But that's the standard. That's what they're there for. They're not there to judge you guilty or innocent. They're there to make sure that the accusations brought against you, they're in judgment of not just their accuracy, but their validity and the process under which they were obtained. That's the judge's job, first and foremost. And we don't demand that from our judges. You ain't got to like this motherfucker. You might even think he killed these people, but that doesn't mean you ignore the process under which evidence is collected against the guy, or you ignore accusations that are bearing out to be unverifiable. They cannot be proven to be true. And so as a judge, you're supposed to stop the prosecution.
A lot of them can be proven false right now.
Right. So I will be stunned if this actually goes to a jury trial. I'll be stunned.
I don't think it will either.
And yet,
I mean, right now, just based off the cell data, you can toss out the arrest warrant and the grand jury. What are they going to do?
the grand jury, yeah, it was look. This guy didn't even save his fucking work. He took a screenshot of the results and ran it to the grand jury.
I guarantee you what he did was exactly what they used for the PCA, though, because he only had access to the towers he connected to.
No, he only made that just before the grand jury. He made that after the arrest.
I know, but what I'm saying is he just replicated it because they had the same data. He couldn't have come up with anything new. I think the issue was that the FBI didn't want to testify in the grand jury, so they had to create their own.
Because the FBI's information to Koberger was a tip. That's the other thing that drives me nuts with these hombres and others. Keep saying there's a confidential informant. And I just don't see anything of that anywhere at all, other than the gag order being applied to the tip that the FBI gave. That's what the gag order was issued against. It wasn't issued against some unknown private citizen. Right? So if you call the tip line on Cletus, and you know they're going to know who you are, or you're going to identify who you are, you're going to become a protected witness. If you got evidence, direct evidence that can convict Cletus, and you call it into a tip line, Cletus, his lawyers, and nobody except you and God and the prosecution are ever going to know your name. And that's what the gag order protects. So the FBI, that's why the FBI was always arguing. We didn't have a file on this. We weren't the lead. We gave a tip. And that tip was supposed to be protected secret away from the defendant.
Yeah.
And the whole point of giving the tip, just so you know, is this is another government trick. And Idaho fucked it up when they brought it up in that one warrant. The Idaho police fucked up exposing the FBI. The FBI never exposed themselves. The Idaho cops did it to them. They were never supposed to bring the FBI into it because they were a tip. Remember that one warrant where she said, we don't want you to rely on the DNA if you don't have to because it could be found.
Oh, yeah, from Don Daniels.
Another court. Remember that?
Yeah.
That's how we got the FBI. And it was the tip was then treated as a private citizen type of tip. A tip is a tip. Doesn't matter if you're law enforcement or not. You get protected from identification. And they fucked that up right in the beginning, the Idaho police. So
Yep.
Or the Virginia police.
They're not the brightest.
No. So what the hell? Cletus?
Yes, sir.
How's that Ford truck running? Have you driven the fucking thing yet?
No, I haven't went out there and still haven't went out there and monkeyed with it anymore. I need to.
Why?
I've just been doing other shit.
Would you get a new one?
No, I've got a '84 F-150, and I put a carburetor on it a week or so ago. And Sarge and I have been talking a lot about it offline, trying to get
Oh,
it
nice.
tuned up good. So I've been sitting still on it for over a fucking week now. Did you know that Saturday was National Lazy Day? And I
Saturday. You guys got one day a year. That's it. You fucking poor bastards.
well, I utilized Sunday in place of Saturday. Saturday I stayed fairly active, but yeah, Sunday I didn't do a fucking thing. So I didn't really work on the truck this weekend. So yeah.
Get it up and running soon. Is it 4-wheel drive?
No, it's 2-wheel drive.
No, nothing wrong with
Get
that.
thing running. See if that carburetor does what you wanted it to. I'm interested to know. 'Cause
I'm fairly confident it will. I'm almost positive it will.
Streams.
Just
Stearns
based
has
on
video evidence of molestating his victim. Kohlberger did not video. What? Can
They're
anybody make
talking
sense
about
of that?
Yeah, they're talking about somebody said earlier Stearns looks guilty, Brian, not so much. But
Stearns?
he's
Who's
talking about
Stearns?
like there's Steven Stearns, he's the one that molested and killed that girl. I forget where it was at, but
Oh,
yeah.
yeah. I don't. Yeah, I've been off in fucking La La Land, and I catch stuff across different streams and stuff and different X's, but I'm not really investing in that much time. It gets to the point where this is kind of where I ended up getting to at the end of politics 4 years ago. It was, there's a number of good people out here. I would say everybody out here is a good person, misguided and broken, but otherwise I think generally we're all good people. But you can't, it's like trying to bail the fucking ocean with a thimble, These motherfuckers just love being ignorant. They just love playing fucking stupid.
And the ice caps keep melting.
Right? How about somebody was saying you could put your cell phone in your sock and cover your leg with aluminum foil and it would fucking block the phone signal or some fucking shit.
Faraday bag.
Listen, that was in some. Was that Pompro said that? And she said, "Well, thanks for sharing your knowledge." Knowledge?
No,
knowledge?
That's Too Fast for Fleas, and he was trolling Daniel from Drunk Turkey.
Well, she was like, "Thank you for your knowledge," and I'm thinking, how in the fuck can you categorize what was just said as knowledge?
She might have known it was a joke.
I don't know about that, bro. I don't put anything past half of these fucking streamers, man. Look at Daniel. Did you see? Daniel's history, right? The drunk fucking bird is what I call him. He's a drunk fucking bird, and they just happen to name him Turkey, which fits the kind of bird he would end up being. They humiliated him on the mainstream media. He was more.
I need to watch that one though. What show was he on?
I can't remember, but just listen. He was more critical of the police and their actions and the accusations against Kohlberger until he went on the mainstream media, and him and Blue got rolled like the fat bastards they are, right?
Yeah.
And they couldn't get up. So now he gets back on the internet, and he's all Kohlberger did it because that's what the mainstream media's narrative was. And he
also talks to Steve.
Pardon?
He also talks to Steve.
But he didn't in the beginning when he got brought up on the media. He thought he was going to be Mr. Big Deal. He scored the jackpot.
Yeah.
He's a YouTuber in true crime being brought up on the mainstream media for an interview, and then they bored holes in him.
That's not hard to do. If you want to be entertained, go watch me on his panel arguing with him.
It's fucking incredible. And then the guy turns into a pro, Kohlberger did it guy. So
yeah,
no conviction. He can't stand on his own 2 feet. He's swayed by opinions of others and he wants to be Mr. Big Deal.
Yeah, well,
and
he's
as far
not.
as I can tell him is you're the biggest deal you'll ever be is in your own head. So just let it go.
Something like that. There's
like
something
me,
going
man.
on with his head. I don't know what it is.
I'm a big deal to myself in big ways. Cletus?
How was the car running? Did you take it out Friday?
I did not.
You did not?
No, it's actually this Saturday, 7 p.m.
Oh.
Yeah,
Are you gonna record it? Or will there be a recording?
What I'll do is I'll get a recording of the times that I run with the car and the speed.
Sweet.
But a video. If there are people there videoing it, then yeah, I'll get some videos of it. But I don't have like a GoPro or anything in it,
Yeah.
you know. So yeah.
You know, I got this. You have a rear view mirror, right?
Oh yeah.
I got a mount for your phone for like $5 at Walmart. It just hooks onto your rear view mirror and you can use your phone.
But my
I don't
phone
know
is
if you've watched my drives out to the park and stuff, but that's what I used.
I've got something that holds my phone and it connects to this device called a Draggy.
Hmm.
And what it is it's a timer for all your 0 to 60s, your 8th mile, your quarter mile, your 1,000 foot. It records how fast your car is going, how long it takes to cover a distance. So, you know, when you go to a drag race and you're racing at the end of the track, that tells you how fast you went.
Yeah.
That's what this does, but it's on board through your phone.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool. But I believe I can also take a video with it. So before Saturday, I will look to see, because my holder does hold my phone high enough so that the camera could be looking out the windshield.
Yeah.
Yeah, so maybe I'll try to get a recording of it for everybody. I'm not really big on like taking pictures of myself and my car and
I'm
if
with you.
people got pictures, they got videos of me racing. I don't mind posting them, but I'm not one of the big selfie fucking look at me picture kind of guys with these fucking social media.
No, I'm with you there. I just want to see what the car's like.
Yeah. No doubt. Yeah, folks. So I will attempt to do that.
Not a big selfie taker yet. In the bottom corner of the screen every night at 9, there's a picture of you.
But it's always the same one, so
There you go. Thank you, Twizzle.
Damn it, Twizzle. You could have went along with it.
I could have.
You know, I swear to God, the only way to get his ass to hurt is to kick him in the jaw. Swear to God.
I hate taking pictures too, though, so I'm always gonna defend that side.
I don't find what's so amusing about it.
What,
I don't
taking
know.
selfies? Is
Yeah,
that-
and all of these fucking social media apps all over your phone. You got to be in contact with people you're never even gonna fucking meet in a lot of cases.
Look, I was sitting here. I think it was today or yesterday one, and Chloe's sitting here to my right, and she's making these. She's sitting here, and I keep seeing her face illuminate, and she's got the phone in front of her, and I'm like, "What the fuck is she doing?" And I look over, and she's making the fucking duck face, and it's just over and over, and I'm like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And then the phone cocks a little bit to the left, and I see. Because I think she's taking fucking selfies, and I think she was, but she was trying on different hair colors.
Unfucking believable. Yeah, and look, I think this technology is amazing. I think it's tragic that we've all been fucking conditioned to be the morons. I mean, it's just sad. It's like I don't even know, man. It's like we've been given a gun and just told to mow people down at random, and that's supposed to be fun. Maybe we are getting that education. I really don't know. But when it comes to technology, man, are we a bunch of fucking idiots? We really are a kid playing with something we shouldn't even have our hands on.
I'm telling you, we could all benefit the most from a few days of a simpler fucking life.
Yeah.
If you don't believe me, go watch one of these streams where these fucking people go to these third world fucking countries out in the middle of fucking nowhere and look how old, healthy, and happy every fucking body is.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, right.
Have you heard about they did it in like the Amazon to one of the uncontacted tribes, but they went down there and gave them Starlink,
No.
and all they do is look at porn.
Well, there you go.
Oh, fuck.
Well, that's a big thing for them too. If you got no TV or anything to do, what are you going to do?
Yeah,
Right?
because it's like brand new to them.
Yeah, it's a shame, man. Too bad. You know, look, I don't know. I just, I hope Trump wins, but only because there's really no other fucking option here. And I really was interested to see how his interview with X went, but X broke. X couldn't handle it.
JLR streamed it. So there you go.
There's a lot of people that streamed. If you're talking about the Trump conversation tonight with Elon, I think it's going on right now. I don't know.
Trump returns to X Elon interview. Yeah, I'll have to catch some of it later. But I like to see how that goes down, and be all fairness. And he should bring what's her name up there?
Kamala?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, you should bring what's her name.
she loves big.
Absolutely.
Big.
If Elon made a or posted a meme telling the EU to go fuck themselves, I
That
can
meme was
only
badass.
imagine
Did you see that meme,
how
Quiz?
I can only imagine how that would work with Kamala.
Did you see that meme that he posted?
I don't think so. I saw something that was kind of funny the other day that Elon posted.
I'm gonna post it up right now. Hang on. See if
I forget what it was though.
it's that.
I don't really pay that much attention to politics. Obviously, I want Trump over Kamala.
Look at that.
So there's not really and it's from and it's from Tropic Thunder. That's fucking amazing.
Yeah.
You see that? See, oh, fuck your own face. He sounds like me. I swear to God, he's got an algorithm, I think, that catches some other shit I say. I'm waiting for him to come out and say I wouldn't wipe my ass with your face, which I'm known to have said many, many times.
Yeah. The European Union is wild when you look into it. Because that has traces back to the Nazis.
Yeah.
Like one of the leaders in the Third Reich came up with the idea of it. They just didn't implement it for a long time. And Germany is still the leader of the European Union. So how'd that all work out?
All worked out well. They got exactly what Germany wanted, and the Western powers, I think, more so are just corrupted by all the crime cartels. There's more money in that than there is in fucking. I mean, it was a sex trafficking. It's the highest gross or highest netting fucking business in the world. It outdoes Intel, and Intel's the richest corporation ever known to mankind.
Yep.
How does that work, bro?
And look at The Sound of Music or Sound of Freedom, that movie.
Yeah.
I haven't watched it, but I watched a bunch of interviews with the guy who it was about. And then as soon as that movie came out, they propped up like 8 charges of him doing something inappropriate with females,
Yeah.
Mm.
They never did it with any of the people connected to Epstein.
And they actually have like proof of that,
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Well, listen, it's 10:02. We've done our 62 minutes of fucking prison. And Cletus jumped out of here like a fucking fly jumping to another turd, which doesn't surprise me, turd boy.
I'm next. Goodbye, chat.
I got him. He tried to get out of here and say goodbye at the same time, but I nailed him. Anyway, folks, been wonderful, been awesome. If you care, hit the like button. If you don't care, hit the like button anyway. And if you can't stand me, well, I love you too. Go fuck yourself. In the meantime, thanks for stopping in to Your Ass Hurts News Network. This is your host, Sergeant Friday, from the top of Cock Tower in Beijing, China. We'll see you all tomorrow night.